Hey there, how there, ho there, Chef Cutter Diamond. Welcome you to yet another second and 10 video. It's not to do with the Super Bowl winners, losers, and friends tourney, which will head to the round of 64 coming next week. This is a 14 thingy with the 99 Browns, the 95 Panthers, the 95 Jags, and the 2002 Houston Texans. The reason why is because of this guy, Paul Tagliabue, who became the second commissioner in NFL history. The first was Pete Rose. Actually, not. Yeah, it was president. Now the spot of commissioner was built. No, wait. He wouldn't be the second one. He would be like the sixth one. I think he was number six, wasn't he? Yeah. Boy, I'm stupid. NFL commissioners. Got Forbes, Carstruck, Layden, Bell, Gunzel, Roselle, Teglu. Well, Gunzel was okay, whatever. During his commissionership, the NFL went from 28 teams to 32 teams. He kept New Orleans with the Saints, and following Hurricane Katrina, a lot of people thought he would move the team to San Antonio. Four franchises would move cities under him, which was almost unusual. He actually postponed games following 9/11, which was kind of an easy idea. Took a hardline stance against Arizona for failing to recognize the Martin Luther King state holiday by making sure that Super Bowl 27, which ended up being the Leon let down, and the 52-17 game to Pasadena. And Arizona got its act together and passed the vote, so that meant Super Bowl 30 could go to Arizona. He established the World League of American Football in 1989. Yeah, we don't want to hear about that. He got to the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2021 and was board of directors of Georgetown for 6 years. He was born in Jersey City, New Jersey, would play in Georgetown and all that. He practiced law with Covington and Burling. He was a lawyer for the NFL, and the NFL owners needed Pete Rozelle to step down after 29 years. So Tagliabue was selected, and the NFL went from 28 teams to 32. 1995 was a big moment because there were many teams that wanted expansion franchises. As St. Louis, Baltimore, and Nashville were actually favored to make it, but they failed miserably. It would be Charlotte and Jacksonville. So North Carolina, a traditionally basketball laden or college basketball laden state, got NFL football, and Jacksonville got a team, bringing the Florida teams, the three with Tampa and Miami also there. He would add a 31st team in Cleveland in 1999. It was technically an expansion team. Well, a lot of people say Baltimore was technically the expansion team, if you will, because Cleveland would take some hiatus. So the Cleveland Browns in 1999 took all the things, the name, the colors, the history, and everything else. Of course, Baltimore Ravens technically are a expansion team. Don't ask me about it. It's complicated. The 32nd franchise was the Houston Texans in 2002 after Houston ended up losing their team with no one caring after 1995. The city finally got another team, and they were the Texans. The NFL in Europe, he would actually do a spring developmental league with 7 teams in North America and 3 in Europe and all that. The World League was shut down because it was unsuccessful in the United States. But then he kept going with the Spring League and said that it would be in Europe, the NFL Europe, with 6 teams in Europe. Roger Goodell would actually shut down NFL Europe after the 2007 season and replaced it with the NFL International Series playing regular season games in London. Well, he saw 4 teams move. In 1995, the city of LA lost both franchises, the Rams and the Raiders. The Rams played in Anaheim at Anaheim Stadium, but Georgia Frontier and Company moved to St. Louis and got the Super Bowl in 1999. Let's all act happy. Unfortunately, though, St. Louis would lose the team subsequently to the Rams in 2017, if I remember correctly. But anyway, yeah, the Rams had St. Louis had the Rams for like 2 decades. The Raiders would move back from Los Angeles to Oakland when Al Davis decided to build Oakland Coliseum and make sure that it was a football stadium, taking away the open air status that was great for the A's. But of course, they moved to Las Vegas later on in 2017. In 1996, the Browns were moved to Baltimore. They had problems. Art Goodell basically couldn't get the finances to fix Cleveland Stadium, and with the Indians now at Jacobs Field, which was it was known at the time, things were bad. So the Browns would have to move to Baltimore under a new name, as indicated above. Houston in 1997, I said 95, my mistake, would actually relocate the Tennessee to Memphis and then to Nashville. Memphis played the Liberty Bowl Stadium, Nashville playing at Vanderbilt Stadium, and then once they moved to the permanent stadium in Nashville, the team changed their name from Oilers to Tits or the Titans. Tagliabue basically canceled the games the weekend after 9/11 because of the terrorist attacks. And he said that the postponed games would be added to the end of the regular season. So that meant the week 2 games would be going on the schedule and make it the real week 17. Pushing the Super Bowl to February for the first time. And he took a stand against Arizona for refusing to establish a state holiday honoring MLK and all that. In 1993, Arizona rejected establishment of a state holiday. Super Bowl 27 was supposed to be in Arizona. So Tagliabue took a stance and moved the Super Bowl to Pasadena, becoming the last time for a while. Yeah, it was the last time that a non NFL stadium hosted the Super Bowl. Arizona, well, a lot of like rural people were the reason why the holiday was rejected. But Arizona took a second vote and it worked. They won it, and Tagliabue gave Arizona the Super Bowl 30 in 1996. He would actually promote the return of the Saints to New Orleans after the disruption of 2005 because of Hurricane Katrina. Tagliabue was credited with convincing Tom Benson to stay in New Orleans instead of going to San Antonio, and made the Saints return to Louisiana a league priority, mostly because, the city of New Orleans needed something to cheer for. Their basketball team was in Oklahoma City, if you must know. So he would move after fucking Roger Goodell came by. Don't ask me about that. Tagliabue was part of the board of directors for Georgetown, known for his work with a gay rights group and all that. He actually was appointed by Roger Goodell to hear the appeals of players suspended in the Bounty Gate scandal. Tagliabue actually said that the findings were big, but overturned everyone's suspensions. Personal life, they had 2 children, Andrew Tagliabue, known as Drew, who is openly gay, and Emily, who married John Rockefeller V. So anyway, he and his wife resided in Chevy Chase, Maryland. I don't know why they freaking named it Chevy Chase, Maryland. And all that. Was that after the actor Chevy Chase? I don't know. He died of heart failure and complications from Parkinson's. I'm a little Oh, it was renamed. It it definitely is not the um actor, the actor Chevy Chase. Anyway, so the second and 10 has the 4 exhibition teams that were established under Tagliabue: Cleveland, Carolina, Jacksonville, and Houston. By random drawing, Cleveland will be in Carolina, Jacksonville will be in Houston. So we're going to play. And we're going to do red zone playing. After the first possession from each team, we're going to do red zone, just like I usually do with the tournaments. So we start in Carolina for this game. Yeah, you see the Panthers logo field. Clemson Memorial Stadium. It's weird how Carolina would be established in Charlotte, North Carolina, but they were playing in Clemson, South Carolina. Panthers and Clemson football. Clemson wasn't really that big in the 90s for college football. So that took Clemson back 2 decades later. The 95 squad starts at 33. Frank Wright, former Buffalo backup quarterback and the star of the biggest comeback in postseason history against the Houston Oilers in 1993 is playback Derek Moore running the ball, Mark Carrier, former Brown, Willie Green, Don Beebe, former Buffalo Bills, so right knows about them being right. Walter Rasby and the receivers. Offensive line is Blake Brockenmeyer. They can play for Green Bay. Matt Elliott, Curtis Whitley, Frank Garcia, former Buck, I think, and Mark Dennis. Cleveland's D-line started off with Derek Alexander, Darius Holland, John Jerkovic, and John Terry. Okay. Jameer Miller from Atlanta, I think. Raheem Abdullah and Wally Raymond. Daly McCutcheon, Corey Fuller, Marcus Polk, and Ryan McNeil. Carolina,
timeout, defense. First down. First down. First down. First down.
Touchdown, Panthers.
Fresh-faced rookie that Cleveland picked number 1 in the draft from the University of Kentucky is a pivot. Terry Kirby, former Niner, Mark Edwards, running the ball. Kevin Johnson, Leslie Shepard, Irv Smith, receivers. Noah Lomas Brown, the legendary former, I would like to say, Bingo, probably wrong. So first defensive, Jim Pine, Dave Mullipart, Orlando Brown, who had his career cut short because of a penalty face. They changed the rule from a wait on the flag to punt line. Start right. Carolina's team like Mike Fox, Greg Franken from the Broncos, and Joe Williams. Four linebackers, Carlton Bailey, former Bill, Jerry Connor, Lamar Latham, and Sam Mills, the former Saint. Tim McKyer, former Niner with Brett Max, Patrick Burrell, and Tyron Poole.
First down. First down.
Flag on the play.
False start. Offense.
Touchdown, Panthers. Extra point is good. Touchdown, Rams.
It's good.
Flag on the play.
Pass interference.
Pass interference.
Defense.
Trying to get the
Touchdown, Panthers. Looking good. Flag on the play.
Illegal use of hands. Offense.
35 to 10. You're up by 25. I think that would be Jack Trudeau from our who I used to start quarterback. I'm surprised how bad he was. Kerry Collins. Yeah, Kerry Collins was not with the 95 Panthers. I believe he was. No, I think he was the backup. Anyway, ranked 20 for 26, 235, 3 touchdowns on the pick. Couch 80 for 1990 yards before Denver came in fourth for 39 yards. Carrier Phil Baltimore run 35-10 Carolina 15. Yeah, I think that Carolina's backup. Yeah, Kerry Collins should have been number 1. Yeah, he was drafted that year in 95. Anyway, let's go to Houston. It's the 95 Jags against the 2002 Texans. Von Dynamite, the former Saint, and Rashad Maston, also a Saint. Running the ball, Willie Jackson, Cedric Tillman, and Pete Mitchell. On the offense, we have Tony Baselli, Sean Bowens, Dave Wydell, Tom Leslinski, and Brian Marco. Baselli. Houston's defensive line, Barry Walker, Seth Payne, and Jerry Deloche. Jeff Posey, Jamie Shepard from our Jay Foreman and Kaylee Long from our tight team. The linebackers, Aaron Glenn, the former Jet, Matt Stevens, Eric Brown, and Marcus Cole.
First down.
David Carr, the man picked number 1 overall by Houston. The pivot, Fresno. Well, he set a record for most X-Men sacked in the season. James Allen, Jared Baxter, running the ball. Corey Bradford from Packer, Juwan Dawson from Brown, and Billy Miller. Ryan Young, Domingo Graham. Steve McKinney from the Vikings, Frank Murray, and Chester Pitts. D-line. Jeff Langman, Don Navy. Calvin Pritchett, former Lion. Bill Smoot. Kevin Keith Gregorius, Brian Schwartz, and Matt Williams, your linebackers, Vinny Clark, Henry Clone, Mike Dumas, and Mickey Washington.
Flag on the play.
Illegal use of hands. Offense.
Well, that hurt.
First down.
Flag on the play.
False start. Offense. Timeout offense.
That's good. Touchdown, Jaguars. Good. Touchdown, Jaguars. That's good. Touchdown, Texans. That's good.
Timeout defense.
Playing in a 10.
First down. Timeout defense.
Warriors for 388 touchdowns. We're now 19 for 32 and 77. A lot of field goals. Yeah, Jacksonville, Houston was good. They aren't irritating life. I remember they were down by 19 to Jacksonville, ironically enough. Now, that was random, Jacksonville. In real life, Jacksonville was up by 19. Yeah, Jacksonville scored, just like in real life. It's funny. Personally, I think that the 95 Jags would have beat the 95 Carolina team in a one-game winner-take-all playoffs. So, yeah, but those are the two games, and that is the end of the Paul Tagliabue honorary matchup. So rest in peace, Paul. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.